Hi world, it's the 30th of September 2021. It's about midday UK time and this is my astrological forecast for October 2021. I've just completed a set of sun sign videos for a channel that I record for and so I'm fresh on what's coming up in October. Now when I'm looking at October astrologically, the first thing that jumps out at me is that as we start October, we've got Mars in Libra, Venus in Scorpio. Venus is about to move into Sagittarius in a week or so's time. But Venus and Mars are the only two planets in the sky that are moving forward. Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Chiron, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto are all going retrograde. They've been going retrograde for a week and a half with Mercury. Jupiter's been going retrograde 4 months, Saturn 5 months, Uranus and Chiron a couple of months, Neptune 3 months, Pluto 4 or 5 months, and they're all going retrograde. They have been for a long time. And it's been very much a holding exercise over this last 4 or 5 months. We've all been collectively holding our breath. This is about to change. Pluto starts moving forward on the 6th of October. Saturn starts moving forward on the 11th of October. Both Jupiter and Mercury stop going retrograde and start moving forward on the 18th of October. So by the time we're into the last 10 days of October, there's only Chiron, Uranus and Neptune going retrograde. And this is much more generational. We're going to see a significant change in the energetic dynamic of the world as we get into the last 10 days of October. With Jupiter and Saturn stopping going retrograde in Aquarius, I suggest that the willingness at the large scale community level for people to start talking to each other and engaging in a more civilized way is hopefully pretty good. The Mercury retrograde. This is a sleeping tiger. It has yet to reveal itself. We need to look at Libra. We have Mars in Libra all month. Mars doesn't like being in Libra. That's not to put down the 1 in 12 people in the world who were born with Mars in Libra. But when Mars is transiting through Libra, it always feels a little bit mollycoddled and covered in pink cotton wool. And Mars likes to be feisty and fiery. Mars is all about me and Libra is all about us and sharing and teamwork. I'm doing a lot with Mars and Aries in my teaching on my students tonight. What's particularly significant during October is the position of the moons. The full moon will be on the 20th of October around 4 p.m. UK time, and the full moon will be at 27 degrees of Aries. The moon will be at 27 Aries, the sun will be at 27 Libra. Pluto will be at 24 Capricorn, so the full moon, both the sun and moon will be squaring Pluto. So I suggest that the full moon period around the 20th, just after all the planets have stopped going retrograde, we'll see a lot of scores being settled. I imagine that the knives are going to come out at that time, metaphorically of course, and there's going to be a few sort of things being said and done which are going to be incisive, culminative, and there's going to be a lot of conclusions being drawn and endings with that full moon. It's a bit of a stinker, but not as much as the new moon. The new moon in Libra takes place on the 6th of October, just after midday UK time, and it's taking place at 13.5 degrees of Libra. Students of astrology who can read an ephemeris will be looking at this new moon and going, the new moon at 13.5 degrees of Libra, right, where's Mars? On the 6th of October, Mars is going to be at 13.5 degrees to 14 degrees of Libra. The new moon will be exactly conjunct Mars to less than 1/4 of a degree. New moon conjunct Mars in Libra. The sun's quite a powerful individualistic energy. Mars is certainly about me, me, me. Both of these two planets together in Libra with the new moon, it suggests to me something very incisive, very specific. This is not about a sledgehammer. This is about a homeopathic laser. There's going to be words said and actions done around the new moon that will not be able to be retracted. And it could get quite messy, because Mars in Libra can get quite frustrated, especially when with the sun. And it can lash out and say or do the first thing that comes into its head. And bearing in mind that this new moon is happening right in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, at the new moon, the new moon will be about 6 degrees away from Mercury retrograde. So there's going to be a lot of messy, confusing words said, which are going to be quite acerbic, quite vitriolic, and it could get a bit messy. So for those of you who do get your buttons pushed around the 5th, 6th of October, the sensible ones amongst you will go, right, I hear you, I'm listening, and now I'm going to walk away and I'm going to think about it, and I'll come back to you in a week. And the not so sensible ones amongst you will go, right, a punch in the mouth often offends, or how dare you say that to me, and then it'll all get out of hand, out of control, and it'll all get really messy. Which is why the full moon 2 weeks after will be a time of scores being settled. Metaphorically, there's a lot of bloodletting this month. There's a lot of old poison being released. This last 6 months, with all the planets being retrograde, there's been a lot of pent up frustration. When you look at what's going on in the world with the failure almost of the American government to sort of keep their population in line regarding COVID vaccines, with Australia sort of going, oh, we don't need to attend the World Economic Climax thing, it's not a big thing for us, yet they are the biggest polluting country in the world. With the clowns in charge of Britain at the moment, with 90% of the petrol stations closed, but they're going, oh, there's nothing to worry about. The world's population are losing faith in their leaders. And I'm not suggesting there's going to be any outpouring or any type of revolution or anything silly like that. But there's a growing sense of discontent. And I suggest that over October, this is going to take shape and form in some of either voicing or action that's going to make the world sit up. It's a bit of a vitriolic month, and I do suggest that the more we get towards the end of the month, there's going to be some metaphorical scores settled. So for those of you who need to make decisions as we get towards the end of the month, do it in a way that is yes, no, black, white. There will be little room for negotiation or compromise. And if you make yes, no, there's mercenary, which is cruel and callous, and there's ruthless, which is just yes, no. And the more you get forensic and make yes, no decisions for yourselves at the end of the month, then everyone else and yourself is going to know where you stand. Even if you don't like it, you'll know where you stand, and other people will know where you'll stand. And clarity brings certainty. A lack of clarity brings confusion, fog, vagueness and fatigue. Better to know where you stand. It's going to be a bit of a messy month, folks, but it's going to clear a lot of the poison. Be strong in yourself, speak your own truth, keep your peace. Catch you later, world. Bye.